Okay.
Chicago Fire was not worth it
Got it.
to you.
Yeah.
Anna, you think it was so worth it?
Worth it.
For what we have today.
Oh my God.
Worth it.
We owe the fire so much.
One very important rule is that each debater can invoke a statistic at any time during their debate. They only have one, so it better be important. They better use it wisely. Have at it.
I would love to start.
Take it away.
Okay. As they say, from the fire, from the ashes, the phoenix rises.
Ooh.
And I think if we look around us today at this fantastic city we have, what we see is a phoenix.
You mean Phoenix, Arizona.
No, Phoenix, Arizona is Phoenix, Arizona. We're a different kind of phoenix.
Okay.
It's
Like a
unfortunate.
metaphorical Phoenix.
For this
Arizona.
metaphor, it's unfortunate that there's another city named Phoenix. No, but we absolutely rose from those ashes better than ever, more glorious than ever. Back then, let's just start off with saying Chicagoans were a bunch of damn fools. They weren't that good at engineering, which is why one little cow tipping over a lantern burned down a whole fucking city.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly, that's the story I'm sticking with.
This is O'Leary's cow.
Exactly.
That's how you say that name.
Go on.
And so obviously Chicago was built by and for a bunch of freaking idiots. And so I think the fire did everyone a favor, those idiots included, by not only destroying the city, but maybe some of the idiots. And what it left us with was a beautiful, clean palette to build this beautiful city that we have today. If the city had not burned, maybe we have some beautiful artifacts. Maybe we have a beautiful history, but we've got a bunch of rickety old bullshit buildings that would have collapsed by now anyways. The fire did us a favor by just ripping the bullshit off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
absolutely worth it. We owe those flames everything. You, me, and every other person lucky enough to call the city home.
That was a strong start. And also,
Thank you.
yeah, good opening statement, Anna.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay. You mentioned that the burning of Chicago created a blank palette for us to build up upon. Correct?
Amen.
Yes, you said that. And that's fair to say, right? It wiped it all out.
Yep.
Right? Every rickety old building.
Ooh,
Right?
so rickety.
Wiped it all out. It wiped out every rickety old,
Idiot.
industry man.
And the idiots, too.
Every factory with every child churning away through the gears,
Yep.
pulling out little screws, right?
Yeah.
Burned it all up,
Yep.
right? All gone, right? Old,
I'm hearing you.
the meat packing,
Ugh.
right? It took away the meat packing where, that the rats
we
were
still
in it.
pack meat.
Yeah, big time.
We still got rats.
Not like that, not how it was. I heard that at one point
Not how it
that
was.
whole river was full of blood from just rats.
Can
from
I play a meat
packing.
packer really quick?
Go ahead.
I would love to play a meat
Go
packer.
ahead, Ian.
All right.
Hey!
Okay.
Get that salami in the bag! That's my meat packer. That's my pre-fire meat packer. Now my post-fire meat packer?
Yeah.
So nice.
Hey, would you mind putting that salami in the bag? It's a
Yeah.
way different.
Oh, I'm
He sounds
so
like he's in a-
glad we
He
got
sounds
rid
like
of
he's
that
in
guy.
a tech startup and they're cleaning
Yeah.
up their charcuterie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, keep
here's
going.
here's my meat packing guy though. Before I continue,
All right, let's hear your meat.
Okay.
where's all the chops?
Is that pre or post?
That's pre,
Okay.
and then post is nice chops.
Yeah, he sees where the chops are.
Yeah, he
Okay,
found 'em, yeah.
continue.
Please go on.
Regardless, so we started with something. It cleared it all out. We have a blank slate, right? But what did we get on the other side of that? Something new. But is new always better?
Yes.
Is new
Hmm.
always better?
It's really the center of the
All right.
debate, isn't it?
There is a deep-seated need of nostalgia and of the good old days pulsing through our society like hot blood through a mammal's heart. And is what we have now in this modern age with concrete monoliths and a grid system
Love the
worth
grid.
it? No. The grid reminds me of graphing paper, and graphing paper reminds me of math class, and math class reminds me of Mrs. Koppelman, and Mrs. Koppelman reminds me of puberty.
This is
And I want nothing to do with that. Have you ever been out east? Have you been in Boston? You've been to New York
Yeah.
or Pennsylvania.
Beautiful
And
towns.
have you been driving around getting lost, seeing, ooh, look at that old house. Look at that old quaint alleyway.
Yeah,
look at that
Bimbo lost his
cobblestone
peril.
brick. Look at those roundabouts.
There
right?
are no alleys in those towns because they're too old.
They're too old. Alleys are a new thing from the grid system that we don't need. All I am saying is that
I'm so glad you
going
brought
out
that
east,
I'm so glad you brought that
you
up.
get into these quaint cities that are, windy and movie, and you have all of these old. There are so many great ghost stories in those towns that we can't even tell anymore because we don't have any of the houses
Are
that
you
are
kidding?
haunted. No,
We've
when
got-
Let him finish.
All right.
the fire burned all the ghosts.
But wrap this up, Nick.
Yeah. So anyway,
The fire
there
burned
is
the
there
ghosts.
is this deep. There's great history. Telling about the different hauntings about Mrs. Mayberry in this orphanage, and then they killed all the kids, right?
Take a word for it.
Yeah, the East Coast
So
orphanage murder. You don't get that here because it's all gone. They might say, oh, in this lot where this intersection of this 200 block of this grid, there once was a meat packing plant where Robinson fell in and ground up into a sausage. You just have to imagine it. You don't have to imagine that back there because all it is slabs.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Your whole premise is really about ghosts. You want more. You want this city to be full of ghosts.
more ghosts.
Okay, may I? I'm dying.
Yeah, please.
Okay, we have the fire to thank for more ghosts than the East
Too
could
hot.
beg.
Too hot.
Too
It
hot.
burned the ghost is what I said.
You can't
Statistic
burn
time.
a ghost.
Statistic time.
Nick, can I just say you and I have watched
for your turn to.
You
invoke
and
the
I
statistic.
have day drank and watched a lot of ghost stories. Do not tell me that a fire can consume a ghost because we both know that's
You
not
didn't
true.
watch season 4. I'll wait until she's done.
Okay.
Okay. I just think that the fire, actually, thank you for bringing up a lot of really good points I didn't think of. Yeah, we got the freaking grid. The grid is incredible, okay? No more windy-dindy streets where you get lost, okay? It is so easy to navigate this city. They say Chicago is like your backyard because it is so accessible and easy to navigate. Thank you, fire. Also, you're right. Oh, beautiful New York with their Sands Alley. You know where the alley? Here's the thing. Oh my God.
Hit
Okay,
me.
hold on. It's like when people freak out about having a cat. 'Cause like, I don't even have to walk it. But guess what? The cat is still shitting. The shit is still being produced. It's just being kept in your house. It's the same with New York and their garbage. It's not like, oh, we don't have to even put our garbage in the alleys. Right, because you're putting it on your streets for your children to step in and breathe. Praise God for the grid that gave these future engineers
Yeah, New York is
the
one big cat.
audacity to build alleys where we can now stow our garbage. I love trolling and strolling the streets of Chicago and not necessarily looking at piled up bags of garbage
it's a
as
clean-
I have done from time to time in New York.
Clean place.
Again, I thank you, fire, for making that possible. The fire was so worth it. I am just take a moment out of respect for all the lives lost, all the buildings lost, all the potential ghosts lost. But no, the fire was absolutely worth it.
Pretty strong.
Fair. Statistic time.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd love to hear a
mine.
statistic.
Ghosts burn at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And the fire was so much hotter than that.
But you
So
can't. You've already.
Nick's your point about better ghosts. They're all gone. They were killed, and then the fire kept burning, and then burned their ghosts.
Wow, if that's true, that's a big point. Thanks, Nick.
All right.
And it is true. It is true. We know it to be true if he said it.
Yeah. Okay.
All
so
right. Okay.
so
Okay.
Nick's your point. It's
Okay.
gone.
I
Totally
gotta
gone.
get at the point. Why are you so hung up on ghosts? That's an honest question that
Yeah.
you need to answer right
Honestly,
now.
I'm serious about
Why
that.
are
too.
you-
Why is it making a
Why
worse
do
town?
ghosts trump alleys and sanitation?
Maybe something we visit in a future date.
Yeah, I would
got
love
a lot
to
to
hear more
unpack
about your
there.
ghost
Okay, I'm sure you
fascination.
do.
Big into ghosts.
I guess so.
Got some things to
I
share.
like
Some
ghosts.
ideas about that. I have just about as many opinions on ghosts as I do Bitcoin, so we can bring those two together in one episode.
I don't want to be a part of that
I think it'll
episode.
be worth it.
Here's what I
All
want.
I want to say. No,
Yeah.
I've got some points
Please,
here,
please,
right?
please.
When the fire burned it all up, we may have gained opportunity,
Mm.
but we lost character.
Wow. Why were
Before-
you saying that instead of the ghost?
Before,
bullshit?
before the fire, there was this belief that we could do anything in this city. It was a swamp filled with onions. That's literally what Chicago means, onion field, in some, whatever the local tribe's language is. You could look that up on your Segway tour.
Stinky onion.
Stinky onion field, right? And you know what we made? We made a beautiful city full of some rickety buildings, some meat packing plants, and Mrs. O'Leary's cow, right? But there was still this deep-seated belief that anything can happen. When the fire came, it caused a bunch of freewheeling, free-dealing, anything goes, bring me that devil in the white city, wild about attitudes who come what may. And it turned us into a bunch of rigid, square stiffs that only believe in...
You're describing two opposite characteristics. You said, come what may, freewheeling stiffs.
No. We instead of that, we got stiffs.
Paradox.
No, instead of those guys, we got
We traded
pay
off
attention to me.
freewheeling.
Yes, I transitioned too quickly.
No.
We got a bunch of stiffs who are always worried about what disaster could happen to this city next, and we made just a. It's like we make playgrounds too safe for kids now, right? They can't even have fun because there's no monkey bars. There's just a bar on the ground, and they're told to sound like a monkey.
A bar.
This city is too safe. There is no learning taking place because everything is padded and gridded, so we can just get around simply.
Yeah,
we cleaned up all the blood out the river, so our immune system.
You work in the suburbs, okay?
Yeah, and you work at a school in Chicago.
And
Are they padded?
There are no pads.
No.
A variety.
Any kind.
There's not a pad to be found. I think everything you have just identified is incredibly unfounded. I am ready to invoke my statistic.
I'd love to hear it, and then, unfortunately, we're coming up on time here, so let's hear your stat.
All right. My statistic is that, this is crazy, that 100% of Chicago...
Every statistic...
It's always 100%.
There needs to be a rule about the 100%.
No, it's science.
I could beat you up infinity times 1. That's her trump card.
Let's hear it.
Okay. 100% of Chicagoans, this is a crazy statistic. 100% of Chicagoans after the fire were so thankful that it happened. And then also...
Surviving Chicago.
Yeah. These are the dead ones.
No, their ghosts can't say anything.
Die.
They burnt up. That's fact.
But that's what's crazy about this statistic is it's also 100% of Chicagoans today say that they would also set the city on fire again if it meant...
That was two statistics, which makes you lost a point.
Toss the other one. Don't take it into account, even if it's true.
I don't know what to make of that. You just broke a rule. And there's one rule in this entire podcast. You get one statistic.
It was a compounded.
Okay, great debate, people. I'm really, really happy with how that went. I think it's pretty clear who won. I mean, the major point that you had, Nick, was ghost style. I don't care about ghosts, and a lot of people would think that's good that they're not here anymore. So I can't give you this debate. You should have been on the character the whole time because that was going somewhere. Anna, you win the debate.
Yeah, that's right, I do.
On.
I think that's 10 points for me.
That's a point. Even though you broke a rule, okay, that's your first and final warning. If you break a rule again,
I immediately win.
I am literally holding a knife.
I said before I said it that this was a compounded statistic. That there was 2 parts to it.
I don't remember you saying it. You probably did say that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So I won.
You won.
Okay.
It's in the leaderboard.
You have anything to say? It's very short.
I'm raising my empty wine glass, and I'm raising it to Chicago and saying, I'd burn you myself.
Good riddance, ghosts.
Congrats.
Good riddance, ghosts.
Congrats to you, the master debater.
I'm the master debater.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
We are Ian, Anna, and Nick. Our handles on Twitter and Instagram are @Masters of Debate, and our Facebook page is called Masters of Debate. Our Gmail is mastersofdebatepodcast@gmail.com. Our logo was designed by Kevin Kobos. His Instagram is @kevo.28. And our music was made by our friend Colin Fox. I edit the show. Goodbye.